Welcome everybody to our today's webinar. It's on OpalRT as your partner for strong funded R&D proposals. We will provide you today with a view from both sides of the Atlantic. On the American side, Dr. Sudipta Chakraborty, as a Director of Energy Systems and OpalRT USA, will provide you an insight on our engagements. It's underlined with many example projects and deep dives on projects what we are handling. And on the other side, Dr. Ravinder Venugopal, as the Managing Director of OpalRT Germany, will give you the view on the European side of activities and also a more general view on topics, what would be interesting for OpalRT to work together with you. My name is Timo Rösch. I'm your host, and I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing from OpalRT Germany. From the organizational point of view, we will have some 35 to 40 minutes today's webinar, more or less. There will be a question and answer session at the end. In the meantime, you can put your questions on the chat or raise hands or advice for questions afterwards. In any case, the questions will be treated at the end, as of course some of the questions may be clarified already during the talk. I will give you a start with a short overview on OpalRT's R&D activities. So OpalRT in general is involved in R&D, in funded R&D projects worth a double-digit multi-million US dollar amount. And really some 20 to 30% of our revenue is reinvested in research and development. And out of these investments, there's an important portion which is based on collaborative research, which means based on governmental funded joint projects. And it also, I mean, I find this 20 to 30% of revenue reinvestment as very impressive. When I came to OpalRT, it really impressed me, because when I see from other also very innovative companies on the market, you have maybe around 10% of R&D investments. And this is really, I guess it underlines also the idea of OpalRT to be an innovative company, and also the openness to collaborate on innovations. So R&D is really in the DNA of OpalRT. And what we'd like to do is basically what you see here on the right side a bit. We want to turn a challenge which puts a question mark basically into a solution which is based on an idea. Our collaborative research activities started in Canada, then expanded over in the US. That's why also Sudipta is first. And it made its way over the ocean to Europe some 2 years ago, more or less. That's it from my side, and now I will hand over to Sudipta, who will provide you the American point of view.
Thank you, Timo. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, depending on where you are. My name is Sudipta Chakraborty. I will be talking about some of the collaborative US R&D projects that we are doing over the last, I would say, 5+ years here. Before jumping into some of the project details, I would like to discuss a little bit about the research challenges for validation. As we know, the power system is moving towards more decentralized system with lots of renewable and distributed generation at both the transmission and distribution system, as well as connections to different data sources and metering, smart meters, etc. With that, we also have complexity for the validation, and we also have different challenges to solve for the validation. For example, we have to look into now multi-timescale validation of electromagnetic and electromechanical transients together in a simulation. We also need different types of capability to model and simulate different types of switching converters, even medium and high voltage power electronics in both T and D networks. Interaction between transmission and distribution is also getting more and more important as the reverse power flow from the distribution to the transmission circuit. We also have to simulate the power systems, communications, and the cyber layers together in order to address some of the challenges in terms of cyber attacks as well as the resiliency of the grid. Finally, we need to add the real devices and the communication characteristics in our testing so that we can see the real world implication of those devices in the power system. And that's where the hardware in the loop based methods are getting more and more popularity. For the development of the HIL, the main bottom line for that is the real-time simulation, or how you can do the real-time simulation in a proper way. With that, there are always the challenges how you can capture different types of dynamics in power systems, starting from slow dynamics to the very fast dynamics, how you can capture those, how you can simulate and model those. Over the years, Opal-RT actually developed various tools towards this goal, and which starts from very left-hand side on that the plot showing different software. On the very left-hand side, you can see the phasor level transient stability software called ePhasor-Sim, where you can simulate a pretty large system, power system, but in the transient stability scale, which is 10 millisecond time step or higher. On the very right-hand side, you can see when we need to simulate the power electronics with detailed switching, etc., you need to have a very fast solver. And you have to simulate systems sometimes at 200 nanosecond to microsecond time step, 1 microsecond time step. And for that, we also have something called eFPGA-Sim. And in middle, we also have the EMT simulation tools such as HyperSim and eMegaSim, which is the typical 10 microsecond to 100 microsecond time step. Now, these time steps are very important in that sense that they are like selection of the time step in real-time simulation is most important so that you can capture the transient and dynamics that you want to see through that simulation. And then that is important again to test those devices and hardware in the loop. Then you need a proper real-time simulation of your rest of the system. So with that, I will give some examples here about our US collaboration. Now, as we have all those off-the-shelf tools, but because the complexity of the systems are getting more and more harder to solve, we actually are joining different project teams to support their project and add on to our off-the-shelf software and tools and make their project successful in terms of the R&D side. So we actually have offices in Michigan from 2003, but we started more getting involved in the R&D project starting from 2014, and we actually opened the office in Colorado in 2017 as a US Center of Excellence, where we have research engineers on power system and power electronics. The goal here is to support these project partners. As you can see from the list, there are some of them, but the goal here to support these project partners in different types of projects and different types of research needs, such as large-scale phasor and EMT domain power system modeling, complex power converter modeling, system-level integration, control, and power hardware in the loop and field testing. We actually have funding agencies supporting this type of activities from Department of Energy, as well as few projects from California Energy Commission. Now I will jump into few examples. I actually selected 4 examples here, 2 from our power system work and 2 from our power electronics work, and to give you some idea of some of the activities that we are doing. The first project I'm going to talk about is a project led by Northwestern University. It was funded by ARPA Notes program and ended last year. The goal in that project, overall goal, was to develop and validate a new hierarchically controlled frequency-based load control architecture, controlling the transmission network, distribution network, and the buildings, all the way up to the buildings, so that we can mitigate some of the issues related to the high penetration of renewable generation. Our role in that particular project was real-time simulation of the large-scale transmission and distribution, as well as the controllable load in the phasor domain. Also some model conversion for the real-world feeders and the real-world transmission network. And finally, support the large-scale HIL validation of new control algorithms. In the next few slides, I will show a couple of those large-scale validation activities. The first one, we actually did this particular testing at Lawrence Berkeley National Lab in their testbed called FlexLab. The goal there is to validate this frequency-based novel load control architecture with real-world transmission and distribution networks, as well as with hundreds of devices connected with the actual devices connected to that simulated T&D network. The architecture is shown here on the right-hand side. Basically, the green box is showing the hardware part or the actual test bed, where we have different types of devices like small scale motors, heaters, as well as the HVAC that you can control. We also have PV system with energy storage and few load banks. And then the measurements are done through micro PMUs as well as some other measurement that are available in the test bed. On the right-hand side, we are showing the Opal-RT system where we are actually running the transmission, distribution, and the network models. Not only that, we are actually also running the real-time controllers for both the transmission, distribution, as well as the building level. And then we are actually co-simulating the optimization, both the building optimization as well as the transmission optimization in two separate locations. In this case, the transmission optimization is was running at Northwestern University in Chicago, whereas this test bed is in California. And we are actually exchanging data because we need to have a certain number of processing core and processing power for the transmission optimization. So we actually co-simulate this together. With that, actually, there are some sample results here. Bottom line here, we are in this particular results, we are showing the aggregate building power can match the individual, even though the individual devices operating differently depending on their controls. The individual devices can work together to match the target power. And then what we are doing based on this particular FlexLab power, then we are replicating that FlexLab power profile in different parts of the distribution network to create high penetration scenario. And then doing the same, like creating transmission network, we are creating the different distribution feeder profile in that transmission network to create a high penetration scenario in the transmission network. In the same project, we did another testing, but in this case, instead of FlexLab, we actually did it in Stone Edge Farm microgrid at Sonoma, California. It is a real microgrid with real devices and controllers. The idea is same. We are running the similar system there, and we are connecting that to this test bed, and we are actually trying to see how the transmission optimization, for example, in the results shown below, you can see the transmission optimization moves from one operating point to the other operating point at 950 seconds, and it is still stable as based on the frequency. But during that time, we are matching that new requirements for the loads and devices through the new power set points in both the building level as well as in the aggregated power in the distribution level. Now, jumping to the second project, we actually did similar kind of the similar idea, but in this particular project is funded by Department of Energy Solar Program Office called Phasor-Based Control for Scalable Photovoltaic Integration. And this is led by UC Berkeley. They have a different framework called Phasor-Based Control Framework, where they are actually looking into how to manage the different variable DERs and loads in such a way, again, to address the high penetration renewable energy challenge. The real-time simulation, our role again is to real-time simulation, but we also have to show the scalability of this real-time simulation of T&D model, as well as provide support for the hardware in the loop validation. Two main activities that we did in this particular project is not only just integrating transmission and distribution model, but showing that this can be scaled up to 1 million node. We actually demonstrated the scalability up to 185,000 nodes in real time in a 16-core simulator, Opal-RT simulator with 16 cores. And then we actually showed this method can be scaled up to 660K offline. We showed it, there is no limit really. The limit here is the processor core. So to do, say, 1 million node, you probably need like close to 80 to 90 processor core. At that point, we just show the technology can work, but we stopped going that high just because of the time constraint and the resource constraint. And then we actually use the same techniques to create some realistic feeder that was used later for the PBC phasor-based control simulation. Also in that particular project, UCB and LBNL team built a working communication and control infrastructure with Opal-RT's HIL to demonstrate this PVC with physical micro PMUs, inverters, and load banks. Sample results is shown here. I don't want to go too much details, but basically it shows that hierarchical control kind of works. The orange curve, the orange line, first of all, the two plot, one is showing the phase angle and the phase magnitude of the voltage at a certain point in that system. And it was showing that the orange one is the supervisory control is sending the set points to the local PVC, and then the local PVC is matching it. Then the supervisory control sends a new set point, which is the green curve, but the local PVC couldn't match it just because of the constraints in their in the power available. Then the supervisory controller again sends a new set point, and then the local PVC follows that set point. The next two slides I'm going to talk about are different projects more on the power electronics side. The first project I'm going to talk about is a new converter, which we call M4 inverter, modular multifunction, multiport, and medium voltage utility scale silicon carbide PV inverter that has been developed by University of Texas at Austin, funded by Department of Energy Solar Program Office. The goal here is to create these new topologies for lower integration cost, high reliability of the power electronics for PV. Our role is to create this high fidelity real-time model of this particular inverter for this controller hardware in the loop validation. As you can see, it is a IPOS type of converter, input parallel output series converter with 9 modules, and each of the modules has a dual active bridge, a converter, DC to AC converter, as well as the energy storage converter. So we have 72 switches that are switching at up to switching frequency of 50 kilohertz, and then 2 switches switching at 25 kilohertz, and then we have 36 switches that are switching at 60 hertz. So we have a huge number of switches. And our goal was to run this whole simulation in a single FPGA processor so that we don't introduce any additional delays or unwanted consequences of breaking the model into multiple Xilinx processors. So we actually ended up creating a new technology or new co-simulation method where we actually modeled the high frequency components in something called timestamp bridge, which is mainly switching function based method, and then the other components are modeled in our regular solver called EHS. One thing I want to mention here, if you have 1 or 2 modules, you can easily model that in the EHS without any problem for this particular converter. But when you scale it up, then the challenge comes how you can address that many switches and still run this whole thing in one Xilinx Virtex 7 FPGA. We are able to run that in 1 microsecond time step, and there is a result shown here which compares the offline simulation results running at 250 nanosecond, comparing it with that 1 microsecond results. And as you can see, they matches pretty well. The last project I'm going to talk about is another project funded by the DOE Solar Office for the same program on power electronics, and this one was led by Oak Ridge National Laboratory. Oak Ridge is building this something called multi-port autonomous reconfigurable solar power plant, or MARS. It is basically MMC-based topology, but this MMC is not the regular MMC. We have the submodules that are directly connected to PV and directly connected to the energy storage system. And our role is to develop high fidelity real-time model of this whole system with large number of submodules, over 2,400 submodules, in such a way that this particular testbed then can be used to not only validate these things in this type of systems in simulation, but also you can connect 1 or 2 submodules, real-world submodules, to power hardware in the loop type of techniques with rest of the simulation of the MMC or this type of MARS system. So for doing that, we are actually developing custom FPGA models for PV and ESS submodules. We are integrating them with the MMC structure. We are developing the FPGA models for the new voltage balancing controls and the hierarchical controller. The lower drawing shown there is kind of the architecture that we are using, where one of the simulator is using for AC grid and the MARS interface, and in the CPU, and in the FPGA we are doing the submodule development, the front-end converter, and the fast controller. On the other simulator, we are actually developing the hierarchical control, including the slowest control such as PQ, VDC control, as well as faster control like voltage balancing control. Some of them are in CPU, some of them are FPGA, and both of those controllers are connected through SFP ports as well as the copper wires. So with that, I will, before I forget, this particular project is ongoing. So we have few papers, but you also will see some more results in future. And I try to put the sources for each of those slides, so feel free to look into those for more details. With that, I will stop here. And thank you again for joining. And for future collaboration, please feel free to contact me or someone in Opalati, and we'll talk. With that, I will hand this over to Dr. Ravi Venugopal, who will be now presenting on the work on Germany side.